Hey y'all, we are doing some baked chicken. This blush is like anyway, okay, so you guys, what you're going to need is you are going to need some chicken breast or any kind of chicken. Okay, when you're making baked chicken, you can use any kind of chicken. Okay, any kind of chicken. You can use legs, wings, breasts, thighs, whatever, right? You can do a whole chicken. Okay, but using bouillon cubes for the flavor is an easy way to get your flavor without using all these different seasonings, all of that different stuff, trying to figure it out. Just get you a bouillon cube and put it in the dish that you're going to be cooking the chicken in, okay? So we're making baked chicken and rice. I make this a couple of different ways depending on who I'm cooking for, because this is mainly for my son. He's very minimal. He's very plain. I'm just going to do like a smothered chicken, like do a gravy later with it. So this seasoning, this bouillon cube is going to be perfect, okay? Now, so we have our baking dish, okay, and I'm not making that much chicken, so I'm only using 1 cube. You see that's in there. And I just covered the bottom of the dish just to make sure the whole bottom of the dish is covered with water. And that's pretty much what you do with that, okay? The bouillon cube, that's going to do what it do, okay? All right, so then you're going to take your chicken, right? So I'm not making a whole lot of chicken, like I said, so I'm just using the 1 cube. And then I'm just going to grab, and I'm making chicken breast because that's what he likes. Okay, and I'm literally just only grabbing, let me see, I'm only getting these 2, like a big breast, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and put the rest of that away back in the freezer. These are frozen now, so you can do this. The good thing about chicken and baking it, you can just, you don't have to wait for anything to thaw out or anything. You can just go ahead and stick it in the oven frozen, okay? You can season it. You can do everything you need to do frozen, all right? So what I'm doing, and that is just some bagged chicken breast. You know how you just buy like the bagged chicken breast out of Kroger's or whatever your grocery store is. They have it already bagged up. It's already boneless, skinless. It's already done up for you. All you got to do is rinse it off, put it in the pan, right? So like I said, I'm not making a whole lot because it's only for him. So I got 2 breasts. I got 1 bouillon cube. I got the bottom covered. Now I am going to add a little bit of seasoned pepper, okay? And that's just, my little thing I do. So we're going to do just a little bit of seasoned pepper. Okay, now I have actual, I love this, okay? So I have actual seasoned pepper. And then I have garlic and pepper. But I don't want to put any more salt. You see what I'm saying? Because the bouillon cube has plenty of salt. You don't need much. So I'm going to just go ahead with the seasoned pepper. All right. And just sprinkle a little bit in there. Let it float around in the water. Sprinkle it on the chicken. And that's pretty much what you want. I'm going to put a little bit of this garlic and pepper just for the garlic. You can just use like plain garlic too. Or you can just use this garlic and pepper. So that's it. Literally you just, and you just season it to taste depending on what you like. But this, okay, so that's all you need. And then all you do is some foil. You got the oven at 350. You cover this up with some foil. And you good to go for about another hour. And then you just go ahead and you make your rice maybe halfway through. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the rice now. Just so while I'm recording so I can show you guys how I make my rice. Now the rice I make different ways too depending on who's eating, okay? And the only reason why is because, like I said, my son he's picky or whatever. But like if my girls are eating or other people, I like to cook more. I like to do as much as I can to the food. But when it's him, it's like very minimal. So we got it all foiled up, okay? And then we're gonna go ahead and put it in the oven at 350. And there you go. You got about an hour, depending on how much. Now, if the chicken is already thawed, then that cuts down the time even less because chicken doesn't take long to cook. That like in the oven like that or whatever. Now later on what I do is I have a I mean, this is real easy. You take either a jar of chicken gravy, you take a pack of chicken gravy mix, and you see the juice that you have in there, and you'll add a little bit more water, and you just, with all the chicken flavors from the chicken and stuff, or you can even just add like a little bit of just plain flour in there, because all the stuff from the broth and all the chicken juices and stuff is going to flavor the flour anyway. A little bit more water, and you just stir it up and mix it in there, okay? When it's like about, I'll say it's about 10-15 minutes to being done, that's when you would add the gravy part. So whatever's easiest for you. If you're kind of wary about the flour, you don't really know how to make homemade gravy, I would stay away from that and just either use like a jar of Heinz gravy, chicken gravy, just put it in there, mix it on up, boom, there you go. And then, or you can take like a chicken gravy packet, sprinkle that in there, add a little bit more water, stir it up, let it sit in there for about another 10-15 minutes in the oven, and boom, there you go, smothered chicken, okay? So let's go ahead and put our rice together, because this is how you get the perfect rice, okay? Now, depending on like what I would rather do when you're making chicken and rice, I would like flavored rice. And anytime you're making any type of grain, rice, grits, oatmeal, whatever, you know, anything that grain takes up the water, like soaks up that water, and that's how it cooks it, that grain takes on the flavor of that water. So if you put nothing in it, it's going to taste like nothing pretty much, okay? And then you just add stuff later. Well, if you flavor the water, the grain will take on that flavor. So when you're making things like chicken and rice, you want that, you know, you want to make like a flavored rice, right? So if you have any type of, you know, you can take your bouillon cubes that you already have. You can make some broth, okay? And what you would do is you would go ahead and make your broth, and then you will cook your rice in that broth. Or if you have a can of broth, you will, you know, use that, and then, you know, put some water in there, some salt and pepper, and put your rice in there and cook it that way. Now, I'm just going to do a plain rice, okay? But I just want to give you these ideas to flavor your rice. You can always just do plain rice, brown rice. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever you want to do. I'm just doing plain white rice, okay? Plain white rice. And then, but yeah, you would take like a can of, depending on how much rice you're going to make, right? Because your rice is going to be half of what your liquid is. So if you got a cup of rice, you're going to use 2 cups. You're going to need 2 cups of water, 2 cups of broth, whatever. Now the broth, you could, like I said, you can do a can. All right. You can do a can of broth, make it up to add more water. Like if it's a 2-cup can, let me see if I got any broth. Let me see. Do I have some broth? I don't have any broth, but you know. And then another thing, what I do with my chicken, I cook the chicken in cream of mushroom soup. Now, I'm not doing it now because he's eating it and he's funny. But instead of like when the chicken is almost done, instead of doing gravy, you can do a can of cream of mushroom and then add a little bit of water in there. And that, you know, that's like a good, that you can use that instead of gravy. Okay, so you can do either the gravy or you can do a can of cream of mushroom. You just put it in there with the chicken, a little bit of water, mix it on up so it's nice and smooth. Cook it for about another 10-15 minutes. Boom, smothered chicken, okay? So just depending on, you know, you got different ways that you can do it. So, but I'm not going to do the cream of mushroom. But yeah, but like if you got a can of broth, like this is 10 ounces, so it's not quite 2 cups, right? So you would like do the can of broth, and then you would add in, you know, the water to like make it 2 cups, and then put your rice, you know, and then that way you will have, you know, flavored rice. But anyway, we're just going to do plain. So we got some rice. Where's all my measuring? Where's all the measuring cups? There we go. Alright, so we have our saucepan. We have our measuring cup. So I'm going to do a cup of rice. So, alright, you just do a whole cup of rice. Okay, and then you put that in the pan. You put the, well, it don't really matter, water first, rice work, because you can just stir it. But, yep, you do that. Alright, and then you got 2 cups of water, because again, to get the perfect rice, you got whatever cup rice you got, then you got double the water, okay? Double the water. And just real quick, you're going to soak this rice real quick, right? And then you're going to just drain that off. Because that's all the starch, okay? And then you go ahead and you got 2 cups of water, okay? And then you go ahead and you put this on the stove. And what you want to do is you want to instantly boil it, okay? You want it to boom. You want it to heat quick, right? And as soon as that reaches like that heat stage, you see like it's warm, then you instantly turn it back down. And then you put the lid on it and you just let it cook. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt and pepper and some butter, okay? Because like I said, the rice takes on the flavor, you know. So I'm going to do that. And just like a tablespoon of butter. Okay, just like a little tablespoon of butter. And I know you all the way over here and I'm all the way over here. But that's it. So I got this up pretty much on high. You want to just do like one quick little skim through the bottom of the pan, because again, how you don't get that hard rice, you want to make sure that that water has touched every grain, right? Okay, now like I said, if you wanted to make it chicken flavored rice, you could just throw a bouillon cube in there. Okay, you would stir it up as soon as it heats up. You would do it one quick stir. You would tab of butter, a bouillon cube, and then you're gonna put the lid on there. Okay, you're gonna take it all the way down and put the lid on there, and then you just let it cook until it soaks up the water. And you know, these clear pans are good for that because you can kind of see where the water is, you know. You can see, you know, if the rice is actually done, because that's the worst thing you want to do. You do not want to take your lid off of some rice and it is not cooked, okay? Because, no, rice ruined, all right? So that's it. Now, if you want to, after your rice is cooked, if you want to, when the chicken is done, you want to just make it one pan meal, and just put your rice right in there in the baking pan with the dish with the chicken. You can do that. You know, if you just want to put it on the side, you make some veggies on the side. You know, maybe some steamed vegetables, frozen steamed vegetables. You know, put a little bit of butter or olive oil or something or whatever, little garlic and onion or whatever, and that's pretty much it. Boom, that's it, y'all. So I'm just waiting on this to heat up. Now you see the steam is starting to come about, and the butter is melted. So guess what we're gonna do? So we're gonna scrape the bottom one more time, right? And I seen the butter was starting to melt, so boom, that's it. And now we're going to turn it all the way down. That's it. We're turning it all the way down, and now you know it's hot because the butter is melted off of the spatula. And you see how quick that is? Boom. That's it, y'all. 15 minutes. So that's the prep. You can cook the chicken frozen. You ain't got to thaw nothing out. You know what I'm saying? It'll take an hour by the time, you know, you get in from work, or by the time, you know what I'm saying, you can start cooking when hubby on the way home or something like that, and it'll be done by the time he get in there, be hot and ready, you know. Or, you know, it's nothing that takes a whole lot. Now, you can, like I said, take the meat out before, or just get some fresh chicken on your way home and, you know, cut the time down there. That'll be even less time. But this is something that can still be doable, like on a work night or, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. That's it. I'm put this chicken in the freezer. I will come back later on and do like a, you know, before it's done or whatever, or, you know, let you see how I make the gravy, and then, you know, you'll see the chicken be done or whatever, and the rice will be done, and then that's it. So, love you, boo. I hope you have an amazing day. See you soon.